Hi, this is Mike from BandLab, and in this video, we're going to make a booty house beat in BandLab's free online DAW. You can open this project yourself with the link in the video description, and if you find this guide useful, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be the first to know when new videos drop. I begin by setting the project tempo to a brisk 145 beats per minute, and the key to F minor. The first element I'm going to add is the beat, which is the most important element of a booty house track by far. I add a virtual instrument track and select the drums, drum pads 909 kit. I add kicks on every beat of the bar, and then claps on every other beat. I duplicate this pattern out for the whole 4-bar MIDI clip. To duplicate notes or clips in BandLab, hold Option on Mac or Alt on Windows, then drag them over. I want a shaker sound to play between the beats, and the 909 kit doesn't have quite the right sound, so I add another instrument track, and this time I set it to drums, drum pads, classic house kit. Then I add shaker sounds between the beats. I turn this track down to -6 dB to balance it with the 909 kit. Before I add a bass line, I want to add some vocal flavor. So I open up BandLab's Sounds and click the Loops tab. I set the instrument filter to voice and the genre filter to hip-hop/trap. This shows me all the hip-hop style vocals BandLab's Sounds has to offer. IJ122 Chant 2-bar is just the sort of thing I'm looking for. It's simple, unfussy, but it's got a lot of energy and will surely hype up the listener. I drag it onto the project to check it out with the beat. That's great, so I stretch it out for the rest of the 4-bar loop using the loop handle at the top right corner of the audio clip. NOLA Bounce Voice 05 is similar, but busier, and it works well too. NOLA Bounce Voice 04 fits the bill as well. Bounce Vocal 08 is pretty cool, but I'd like to hear it at a different pitch. I double-click the audio clip to bring up its editor screen, and pitch it up to +5 semitones. NOLA Bounce Voice 01 is the kind of vibe I'm after, but it's too busy and complex for this fast-paced track. So I decide to take out the part that I like and reprogram it to suit the project. To do this, I create a new sampler track and drag the vocal onto the first sample pad. I set the sample end marker at the end of the first part of the sample. Now when I play the sample, it just says "what" one time, rather than playing the whole sample back. I use the MIDI editor to trigger the sample pad with a rhythm that I feel fits with the beat. That's enough vocals, so it's time to add a bass line that fits with the vibe and the rhythms I've got in the project so far. I create a new instrument track, and I set it to basses, synth basses, attack bass. And I turn it down to -0.5 dB. I'm after something funky sounding, so I program a part that hits the tonic, an octave up, a minor 7th, and a minor 2nd. I don't want to overcomplicate things, so this part just plays a 2-bar loop. Let's hear how the bass sounds with some of the vocals. They work together in the manner I was hoping for, so I'm happy with the bass part. I'd also like to add a lead synth to create a little variation in the track. I add another instrument track, and this time set it to keyboards, synth leads, ambient lead. I program a super simple 1-bar pattern that plays the tonic and the minor second. It's nearly time to make the arrangement, but I'd like to add some elements to help segue between sections. I add an instrument track and set it to drums, drum pads, ultra fat 808. I turn this track down to -6 dB. When that's all set, I program in a little snare fill. I'd like a cymbal crash to mark the start of each section, so at BandLab's Sounds, I clear the instrument and genre filters and enter crash into the text search field. I drag Silver Yacht Crash into the project. For the arrangement, I'm keeping things real simple. I start with the drums and bass playing right from the start, and add or remove different vocals after every 8 bars. I make sure that there are never too many elements playing at one time, so the track never sounds too messy. I also add and remove the synth lead to keep things interesting. On bar 57, I have a section where the bass line takes a break, as does the shaker, which steps the energy level down a gear, without losing too much energy as a full-on, beatless breakdown. After this section, the bass and the shaker kick back in again, and the arrangement carries on in a similar fashion until the end of the track. You can fork this project and make your own version of it using the link in the video description. Have fun!